Today, I'm going to be reacting to a collection of founders ads. These are the kind of ads where you have a founder of a brand who steps in front of the camera to pitch the product directly. They're a pretty versatile approach. They can range from feeling very raw, personal, UGC style, scrappy, to on the other end of the spectrum with professional and higher production value. But the main point is that people want to hear from the person who built the brand. And when it's a founder speaking, it naturally carries more credibility. And beyond that, people love hearing origin stories. Just look at shows like Shark Tank's Starter Story, which is a YouTube show. That dude who walks up to people on the street and asks them how they got their Bugatti and became a millionaire, videos like that. There's something about sharing how they built a product, solved a problem, turned a personal struggle into a business. People like hearing these kind of stories from founders. Okay, we're going to look at a few different founder ads and talk about them. Here we go.
I'm Nicole. I'm the founder of Splendid Spoon. I started this business when I was pregnant with my first son, Grover. I really wanted to take better care of myself. I was eating out all the time, and I realized that eating plant-based was better for my body, better for the planet, but also not really easy. And so I used my culinary skills to make food that tastes really, really good. I hope you will try.
This is a classic founder ad setup, right? So we have the founder who's directly speaking to the camera. She's in her home. It's a relaxed setting. So she introduces herself, tells us about how she started Splendid Spoon during her pregnancy with her first son, and she walks us through the exact problem that inspired the brand. She wanted to eat better, but plant-based meals were hard to stick to. Okay, so that's the gist of what she's going through. It's personal, clear. It's a real-life moment of her just filming in her kitchen, which makes sense because it's contextually relevant to the product that she's selling. It's not flashy production. Her son even walks through, which I think is a nice touch because she talks about her son in the story. It just tells us a bit more about her and makes the story feel more lived in, right? More real. One thing that I often look for in a high-performing founder ad is what I call a nested messaging approach. Okay, what is that? So let's say we have a problem ad, which is an ad that's speaking to a problem-aware audience. Inside that problem ad is a solution ad. Inside of that is a product ad. Inside of that is an offer ad. So essentially everything is working through the different messagings that's required to get people through the funnel and ending with the offer. The ad starts out strong, but main feedback here is that she's missing that inner layer, the offer, transformation, recent act now. She has a soft CTA like I hope you try, which is charming, but it's not too performance driven. So overall it's emotionally grounded, authentic, it's well-intentioned. She comes off as very charming, she's likable, right? But it misses the opportunity to use that nested messaging strategy to drive action. Okay, here's the next one.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me. What do you do for a living?
I'm CEO of a men's apparel brand called Bird Dogs.
Bird Dogs. I've heard of you guys. What do you guys make, like athleisure? What do you guys?
Yes, athleisure. Really good-looking men's athleisure that you can wear for everything. That's Bird Dogs.
Yeah, and you're wearing it right now. This is the Q-Zip, or yeah?
This is Core Zip. I'm also wearing Bird Dogs pants.
Oh, I've heard of the pants. Pants are like a big one for you guys, right?
Massive. We've sold millions and millions of these exact pants. These are the first athleisure pants that you can wear everywhere, right? So when people think of comfortable athleisure stuff, it kind of looks like crap. This thing, wear to work, you can wear everywhere, and they fit incredible. This is like the one pair of pants a guy needs to own, and they swipe their entire wardrobe out with these things.
Yeah, well, I mean, they look awesome. So what do I got to do to get a free pair?
Go online, man. I would get in line. These things, we're having trouble keeping these in stock. We always do, but you'll get a pair, man.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much for talking to me. Have a good one.
Okay, so in this one, we're seeing the founder of Bird Dogs, and he's casually strolling through Washington Square Park. This one's a founder ad. It's blended with a man on the street framework, and I think it's always nice to blend different frameworks, find new combinations. And a nice thing about founder ads is that more than a framework, it's really just an approach to filming from the point of view of the founder. And it's versatile in that way, where you can pull off executions like this one here. I like how this ad is set right in the heart of Washington Square Park. It's smart that they use the archers in the back because that's going to be a bit more thumb-stopping because it's a recognizable place that people have been. And it's nice that that's within the first 3 seconds to help with that hook rate. It's going to be relatable to people who have been there. That's why it works. The whole video has this real-world feel because it's definitely scripted, but it's loosely scripted. There's a technique I like to call improvising around the content where people are improvising, but they have the main content already figured out. They know what they're going to say ahead of time, but they improvise the way that they go from point to point. It's called improvising around the content. And that helps with authenticity. So this is for sure scripted, but they're doing it in a more authentic way. This ad uses some elements of the nesting approach that I was talking about earlier. So they're transitioning from like a more organic feel at the very beginning, stuff that you would see in viral videos, man on the street style content, to it transitions to a performance script structure when it goes into social proof with points talking about millions of pants sold, positioning of them being the only athleisure pants where you can wear anywhere, and they walk through benefits. There's some B-roll throughout, which is nice because if there's too much content that isn't engaging, people like to scroll, so it's nice to have visuals in there to visualize what's going on. They could mix in some more fun in the visuals rather than just hardcore B-roll of the product. You can have fun with your B-roll. It doesn't have to be just the products, right? You want to generally mix in educational content, stuff that's meant to sell with stuff that's meant to entertain that performs pretty well on social. So they could definitely do more of that. But it's smart to start with that organic video feel and then roll into the marketing messaging as it goes on. Like with the last video, one thing they didn't do is they didn't cap their ad with a real offer. The ending's a bit confusing because they mention free, but nothing's free. He's just asking for the pants for free. That would have been a good opportunity to say, no, it's not free, but there's a discount or promotion. Overall, I really like this ad. I think it's fun. And I saw that they had another iteration of this ad where they flipped the camera and the founder was the interview, walking up to a person saying, hey, I recognize that you're wearing those pants. I'm the founder. They have a nice little conversation there. That's also scripted, but it's a nice way to get more content out of the same shoot. So that's a nice variation to consider. One more thought is that the park was completely empty, and it would have been fun if they did this with more people around. So maybe at an event or a crowd, because then they can have more impulsive, authentic moments where they're actually interacting with real people. It would have invited some cool moments if they did that. Overall, thought this ad was great. It's good. It's a nice kind of founder ad variation to consider in your creative strategy. Okay, on to the next one.
I was planning to go to med school.
I was gonna go get a PhD. These deodorants are so bad, we gave up our dreams so we could make something better. A lot of deodorants contain baking soda, which can make your skin red, itchy, and inflamed. This is why we made Carpe, a quick drying lotion that's tough on sweat, but gentle on skin. Our products use effective and dermatologist-tested ingredients, and people are going crazy about how well it works.
It works so good.
I pay extra money to have this shipped to South Korea. You know why? Because it works.
Do you see that?
Right now, you can try Carpe for up to 56% off with free shipping when you click the link below. Carpe has over 30,000 5-star reviews. These products are dermatologist tested, cruelty-free, gentle on skin, and they come with a 100% money-back guarantee. So if you want to stop your odor and your sweat, click that link below and stay dry out there.
Okay, so this ad by Carpe, I love Carpe's ads. I think they do a really interesting, unique approach to ad creative, and the founder's at the forefront of everything. So definitely look them up. Some great stuff out there. This one is much more of a performance ad structure. It starts with a hook that will boost their credibility by showing them on a morning news show. It kind of has Today Show energy. Their mid-interview, it jumps right into it. It's them telling the story for a hook. It's just the first few seconds, and then it rolls into a very highly structured performance-driven ad. This one's very nested, so it's classic ad architecture where you have your hook, problem. For them, it's about how it's a us versus them problem, how they realize that a lot of mainstream deodorants have baking soda, it causes irritation, goes into solution, they're a quick drying lotion, features, benefits, outcomes, social proof. They have testimonial style, like little blurbs in there. And then the offer is try Carpe for up to 56% off. And they do a good job of really nailing the why you should purchase right now at the very end. And here the founders are acting as the brand spokesperson. So it's a founder ad, but it's a framework mixed with modern infomercial is what I would call it. Okay, and it's nice how they're giving the brand a face by having the founders in virtually every ad that they release. So that's nice. It's associating the brand with a nice, friendly, charming person. And I think that's an especially smart choice for new brands that don't have a lot of brand identity themselves. You can blend and borrow identity from the face of the brand, the person behind the ads. If there's any other ways to associate your brand with something positive, definitely do that if you're a new brand starting out. And that's what they're doing here. I also think This kind of approach of having the founders running performance ads is a nice way to save money, because instead of coordinating with creators or production teams, they're just filming everything themselves. And it looks like this is guerrilla style, where they're filming inside a store, no permits, running guns. So it could go into cease and desist land, but turn off the ads. I can't recommend you do that. But is this scalable? It's for sure taking time away from the founder, but you're not commissioning creators, so it's efficient from that regard. But one thing they do really well is they're leaning into what I call a modular approach, where they're not just shooting one script or a couple scripts when they're on location. They're shooting many different beginnings, which is the hook, many different middles, many different ends, and then they're editing them together in post. And this was particularly smart before the latest algorithmic update with Andromeda. When you weren't getting dinged for small creative iterations, you could copy tests within ad creative. There's no issues there previously, but now with the Andromeda algorithm, Meta's pushing for bigger creative swings, so that's more diverse concepts, less micro iteration. And this still works as long as your ad variations have enough difference from each other. You might have issues if there's just small tweaks, but if you're on location, I would encourage you to film a lot of different variations. You're building out your content library, and then later you can go back and you can even take concepts from one shoot or one concept and edit them together with another concept. I call this Frankensteining, and I've had a lot of success with this kind of approach. Also notice that Carpe likes to stack hooks on top of each other. So they find two different high-performing hooks, they'll just stack them, right? So hook one, hook two, then it goes into the rest of the structure. And that's an interesting strategy to try out. Okay, next ad.
Hi, this is Jack, founder and CEO of Dr. Squatch. If you're seeing this video, you probably just placed your first order online with Dr. Squatch. First of all, for myself and all of us at Dr. Squatch, we want to say thank you and also welcome. You're about to join a fun and exciting community, and there's plenty more content to get you started on your Squatch journey. So whether you're looking for tips on the best way to use your product, the latest limited edition releases, or just need a good laugh, give us a follow on Instagram, TikTok, or check out our YouTube channel to see what's the latest in Squatch Nation. In the meantime, our team is hard at work prepping your order, and we'll be sending your shipping information soon. So sit back, run your shower, and get ready for a wild ride.
Okay, this is a different kind of founder ad. It's not aiming to acquire customers. It's not for prospecting. It's not for even driving purchases. It's for retaining customers. So it's getting them to have more touch points with the brand. And it's featuring the founder, Jack. He's showing up after the purchase. I call this an onboarding ad. He's onboarding the customer into a brand experience that extends beyond that one-off purchase or the first time they've subscribed. And this is nice retention-focused messaging. It's smart because it's helping the buyers feel good about their decision, while also nudging them to dive deeper into the brand. This works well if your brand does have a deep experience on social, YouTube. It's trying to get them to subscribe to other channels. You can also see what else they offer. It's not a hard upsell, but it's a nice soft pathway to getting them to just spend more time with the brand and then hopefully increase their lifetime value. Another nice thing about this ad is that it's contrasting with Dr. Squatch's usual tone. So if you've seen their ads, you know that their brands are known for being kind of over the top, potty jokes, caveman energy, meme culture, that kind of thing. This one's more dialed back. And that contrast helps balance the brand's identity, right? So it gives the brand a second dimension. It's more trustworthy, premium feel that adds on to its playful core. And that's a nice touch. And the visual style also reinforces that. It's shot on a nice camera, DSLR. It's in a controlled studio setup. It's not on an iPhone. And that's a nice variation from what you're used to seeing with the rest of their ads, because they're very UGC-centric type of, they have a very UGC-centric creative approach. And one of the nice things about founder ads is that they're versatile. So you're not beholden to UGC style. You can do founder ads that are shot on the phone, of course, like we saw before. But you can go higher quality. And for this retention play, I think that's nice because it's showing how much effort they put into supporting their customers. It's reinforcing that the buyers made a good decision, and the elevated production quality helps drive that home. And the last thing I'll mention here is that it's clear that they're trying to bridge a gap from paid to organic. So this is running as a meta ad, but all the CTAs point to social, so Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, to drive people to become followers and engage with other content. And it's smart to do this immediately post-purchase because that's a high leverage moment. It's I would expect it's easier to get them to take those kind of actions after they made a purchase like this. So it's smart that they're running this retargeting play to try to drive that kind of connection. I also noticed that this is the longest running ad that Dr. Squatch has. So if you go into their ads library, you can scroll all the way down. You can see that this has been running for the longest out of all their other ad content. So they're clearly getting value from it. It is going to be hard to attribute value to this because it's a lifetime value play and you're not driving purchases, right? It's just getting someone to follow. That's going to be very hard to attribute, but the fact that they've been running this for so long shows that they are getting some sort of value from it. Okay, so those were the founder ads for today. Media buying is becoming easier and creative strategy is now more important than ever. These are things that we all hear all the time. Everyone's talking about this right now, especially with the new Andromeda update coming out of the latest meta algorithm. So I'm big on the concept of becoming a full stack paid ads manager. This is someone who does creative strategy, media buying, executes the ads. That's becoming more and more attainable with these new AI features that are coming out all the time. This is what I'm currently offering to brands, and it's a positioning that's working so much better for me than when I was just pitching for freelance work as a media strategist or a media buyer only. And I think we're going to see the industry shift in this direction. Right now, I have a website called trytheseads.com. It's a directory of different performance ad frameworks that you can check out. These founder ads are there. You can learn more about founder ads. You can check out other frameworks as well. There's also a newsletter there, building out a ton of resources that I'm planning to give out for free to help people pivot in this direction of a full stack paid ads manager, in the direction of that concept. So if you're interested in this, if you want some of those resources, you can find me there. You can subscribe and I'll send you free stuff as I build it. Thanks.